Hi, I'm Dr. Satish Kumar, and this is Kaizen Dental. Our aim here is to help dentists succeed. In today's Kaizen Dental Success Stories podcast, we would be interviewing Dr. Sai Naveen Pilli, who graduated in BDS from Sibar Institute of Dental Sciences and his MDS in Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics from Dr. Sudha and Nageshwar Rao Siddhartha Institute of Dental Sciences. During his MDS entrance exam, he achieved the rank of 18th position in the state. He currently runs the Proud to be a Dentist Dental Academy for NEET aspirants. He has won multiple awards, which include Best Dental Academy Award, Emerging Dental Speaker Award, and Best Student Dental Organization. His dental lectures have a worldwide reach with over 80,000 subscribers and 5 million views. Sir, it's really nice to have you at a channel. And you have been an inspiration to a lot of NEET PG students. One thing I've seen is your content does just not teach them how to study, it also keeps motivating them. So this leads me to my first question. How did you get motivated to start teaching for NEET PG? Usually, when you're a BDS student, you don't think that I want to crack NEET PG and I want to
Yes,
start teaching it. How did your journey begin?
exactly.
How was your
Exactly.
journey?
It's out of frustration. Yes. I'm glad you asked this, Satish, because the answer for this is, in simple words, it's out of frustration. Because right from not just undergraduation, but right from schooling, right from seventh standard, eighth standard, we used to have public exams, especially from the states from where I come, Andhra and Telangana.
Yes.
Seventh, tenth classes, they call them public exams. So there used to be a lot of stress. So right from a very young age, the focus was only on marks, on ranks. And if you don't get good marks, if you don't get good ranks, you'll be punished. It can be parents, it can be anyone. It's an unfortunate scenario. So out of all of this, especially during my plus one and plus two, when I was preparing for MSET, we used to have MSET way back then, now it's NEET. It was so stressful that I considered defeat even before giving the exam. And I
Oh.
failed very badly in MSET, in my first attempt. That is after my intermediate. We call it as intermediate first and
Yes,
second year
12th.
here. So now when I look back and see, the only reason why I think I failed is because of too much of stress, too much of anxiety, and it's because of expectations which parents and society had upon me. And I consider those phases as the darkest phase in my personal life. And I usually share this with my students as well. So that's the reason why, out of that frustration, you know, uh, I started getting intrinsically motivated because during my internship, we had only 6 months of internship, 2007 batch, and out of 6 months, we had hardly 4 to 5 months to prepare, and we gave our best, and ultimately we cracked the entrance. Myself and my friends in first attempt with very good ranks, and during that preparation phase, it is then when I realized that preparation need not be stressful at all. Preparation need not be about proving something to others. It's about enjoying the process. It's about trying to understand the subject, and it's all fun. So once I experienced it, then I decided, I've taken endodontics in my post graduation. So many of my family members, including my father, said, being an endodontist, why don't you go and do some root canals and earn some money? Why are you going and posting? First, we started our videos in YouTube. When I posted one of the videos, root canal orifices location, he said,
Mm.
who is going to watch these videos? Why will they watch your videos? Why do you want to do all of this? Why don't you just start a clinic? You know, all those things happen, but ultimately, my point is, out of those negative experiences, that really pumped me up in my career, and that's how I came up with this coaching, so that only to convey this simple message that preparation need not be stressful, preparation need not be anxious, and it can be made fun. And only when the preparation process is fun, only when you start enjoying the process, you will have successful results as an actual byproduct. And by the way, today, my very father, who is going to watch your videos now, says, you're doing a great job. Just keep going. And to the video where he said, like, who is going to watch this video, that is root canal orifice location. Today, this is in our channel, it has highest number of views of more than 2 lakhs. And so far, we have more than 80,000 subscribers. So it's all about, once you do what you love, regardless of what others say, once you're passionate about what you're doing, you know, you'll have success as natural byproduct. We need not chase success. We need not chase the end product. We need not chase the result. So that's how my entire journey was. And because of those negative experiences, we came up with this coaching. And there is only single objective, that is to make preparation process as much fun, as much interesting as possible. And of late, we even started videos in Insta. The response has been amazing. I've been trying new formats, and we're just having
I like
fun.
the Cristiano
I'm sure
Ronaldo one.
students are also going to enjoy.
I like the one
Sorry?
with Cristiano Ronaldo in it. The fear and anxiety one.
Yes,
It was
yes,
really
yes.
nice. Uh,
Yes, Satish. That's how it is. Yeah.
so my next question is, see, you have told that you should have no fear and anxiety and you should go ahead with it. But a lot of
Yes.
people think it takes around 5 years for BDS, 1 year at least for preparation, 3 years for MDS, then again 1 year for settling. So it takes around 10 years. That's like 1 decade of your life. If you're thinking it around 70
Yeah.
years, is it actually worth it?
Yes.
Putting that much time and effort?
This question is very interesting because, we are living in times where we want things to happen
Instant.
instantaneously. We send a message in
2 minute Maggie.
WhatsApp. We want that to happen. Yes, 2 minutes, 2 minute Maggie. Even it never happens in 2 minutes, as we all know. We want things instantaneously. But sometimes in life, when it comes to personal relations, when it comes to career ambition, things won't happen instantaneously. And definitely, yes, it's worth investing 10 years. In my opinion, it's not just 10 years. Maybe you are seeing it theoretically, like 5 years periods, 1 year preparation, PS and DS. But learning is a lifelong process. We call it as clinical practice. It's a lifelong process. So learning goes on and on. Ultimately, it's all about honing our skills. Like if we sharpen our skills, if we focus on honing our skills rather than worrying about this money, fame, and all, I'm sure we'll do good. And yes, it is definitely worth it because this 10 years, you're trying to learn something only to serve society in the best way possible using your skills, and in turn, you'll get benefits. That's what we're doing dentistry for.
Yeah.
It's not a business equation, right? Just because I'm investing some 5 lakh or 10 lakh or something, or my valuable amount of time, I want returns, dividends, and extra interest. No, it doesn't work that way. It's a healthcare professional. We are here to take care of the society's needs. And if we have this broader perspective, we're no longer worried about returns, investment and all. We'll never see it in that way. It's about serving society. I'm not saying don't earn money. No, money comes, fame comes, name comes, everything else comes. But as I said previously, it's a byproduct. It's a natural byproduct of all the efforts which you put in. And yes, it's definitely worth it investing not just decade, even more time into honing your skills. In fact, it's an interesting question again for another reason. What I learned in BDS, my personal experience, what I learned in MDS, and what I'm implementing now is in most ways not related at all. I never learned video editing in school, that is in dental school. I never learned how to, shoot videos, how to edit videos, and how to create content, how to use social media platforms. I never learned all of these things. I never learned how to use a DSLR or video cam. So there are so many things which actually I learned personally after my schooling. So my point is learning is a continuous process. It doesn't end with school. And if you are determined to give your best, you'll just keep going ahead.
Okay, now once we know that it is worth it doing MDS, what are the points a student has to keep in mind before jumping into it, before getting into NEET PG coaching or studying?
Yeah, first and foremost thing is I usually suggest a technique called visualization. As you're sitting, let's assume a student is watching this interview sitting somewhere. So just close your eyes and visualize or imagine where you want to be in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. I mean, do it wholeheartedly. Just close your eyes. Just imagine what you wish to accomplish and how you wish to see yourself in the next 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. There is nothing wrong in it. And thanks to human nature, with this amazing mind, we can make it possible. We can visualize great things. So visualization is very important. Because once you start visualizing, you'll have more clarity into what you wish to accomplish. And that will be the best starting point. So anyone who is planning to go ahead, not just with NEET entrance, but also anything that they wish to accomplish in their life, this visualization technique gives them greater clarity without any doubt.
Really good knowledge for people, because a lot of people don't think what they want. They just directly jump into it. So this
Exactly.
visualization will basically help them understand what they want and then get into
Yes.
it. So
Jump
now,
into it, and unfortunately, I'm sorry.
no, no, sure.
Unfortunately, yeah. See, it's not just about jumping. Along with jumping into it blindly, they just carry on with the flow. Unfortunately, so we all have great potential, but we never use it to the maximum extent possible. We just do things just because our seniors are doing it, or just because our parents told us to do it, or just because our peers, peer pressure, or someone suggested you. No, I don't think that's more appropriate, because ultimately, this life, my life, it's me who has to take care of it.
Yes.
So obviously, I have to think for myself. I have to visualize, and I don't expect, or I shouldn't expect others to help me at each and every step. Yeah.
So you told you have finished in 6 months your entire studies for the NEET PG. What is the minimum or average duration a student would require for cracking
Yeah.
and doing well in the NEET exam?
Yes, this is one of the most commonly asked questions as well. I'm glad you questioned this, because when I say 6 months or 5 months of preparation, that's an exaggeration, because it is backed up by 4 years of undergraduate study. Right from first year, we are in touch with subjects, whether we like the classes or not, whether we enjoy practicals or not, we are in touch one way or other. Because just before university exams, we tend to go through the theory part or practical exams or whatever it is. So the backing is very important. And those who are consistent in their preparation right from their undergraduate first year, they'll definitely have an edge. And coming to your question in specific, I would say 5 to 6 months of time is ample enough to crack entrance, provided you're dedicating yourself completely towards preparation. No part-time job, no other activities or no other responsibilities. But if in case you are involved in other responsibilities or other activities, then I would suggest allow yourself at least 1 year time, at least 12 months time. So if you can allot your entire time, then 5 to 6 months of time is ample enough to crack entrance.
Now, once you know the time, okay, there's this continuous conversation about what books. Okay, there are people who say only one book is enough. People who say you have to go through entire textbooks. So, which extreme should you follow? You should study all your textbooks, or you should study only that 1, 2 MCQ books and finish it.
It's midway between them. It's not both extremes. There are so many aspects to it. If we're talking about undergraduates who are in first year, second year, third year, or final year, there is no replacement for standard textbook. Just because I'm doing some coaching or providing some e-classes doesn't mean that I'll say you just follow them. Then it means I'm just schooling them. You can be in any year, first year to fourth year. There is no replacement for standard textbook. We learn subjects from standard textbook, right? And when you're in internship, it's obviously not possible to go through all the textbooks. And if you start with any textbook, it's a very demotivating experience. And I'm sure you're going to stop your preparation midway. So when it comes to internship, especially in terms of preparing for the upcoming entrances, it's all about using textbooks for reference purpose, using standard articles, PubMed indexed articles for reference purpose. And when it comes to interns, we have specifically designed courses which are based on these standard references. So coming to books, I would suggest all the students to follow standard textbooks, right? Either go through them when you are in first year, second year, you have ample time. Take third year, for example, general medicine, general surgery, and then we have oral pattern medicine. There is actually plenty of time. And I'm sure most of them will never open a general medicine textbook that is there. But it is the only time we have where we can allot time towards going through the textbook. If not the entire textbook, at least main chapters. Clinically oriented, dental oriented, like cardiovascular system, respiratory system of late, as you might have observed. Most of the questions, clinical based, case based questions, especially from these areas, general medicine, general surgery, the pharmacological aspect, the histopathologic aspect. So standard textbooks are mandatory. And along with that, thanks to Google, searching information is very easy nowadays. In fact, when you Google search something, the result appears in less than a second, zero point 0.3 seconds, zero point 0.6 seconds. But having said that, we should not fall in trap with third-party websites because the information given there is not reliable. So I would suggest PubMed indexed articles, right? For those that are available in PubMed index. And simultaneously, for interns, as I mentioned previously, I would definitely recommend that course.
Now these are books. What about note taking? So there are these various coaching institutes, or your friends give you notes, or you have ready-made notes.
Yes,
Nowadays, you see there are various people just giving you notes ready-made.
yes,
So should you
yes,
just
yes.
consume those notes? Should you make your own notes? If yes, when you should
Yeah,
start all these things?
that's another interesting and very important question. Notes preparation is something which I've spoken about elaborately in several videos to thousands of
I have
aspirants,
heard it. That's why
but
I
still,
want the people to know your feelings.
yeah, first and foremost, human mindset is in such a way that we tend to do things which are easy. There's nothing wrong in it. There's nothing wrong in it. I'm not trying to blame it, but trying to follow some other's notes, trying to follow my senior's notes. We did that during our
Yes,
undergraduation. Our
everyone has done it.
professor used one of our professors, yeah, our professor used to give us notes and he used to ask us to by heart it. So we used to copy all the notes. We used to copy all the mistakes. I make 2 mistakes, my friend makes 3 mistakes, and it becomes infinite by the time it reaches the end person. And we learn it, we mug it up, and it serves zero. It's of no use
And
at all because notes is something we should understand. This like notes is something which we prepare based on our level of understanding, based on our level of perception. When I'm attending a lecture, so I prepare my own notes as per the format which I said, based on my level of understanding. And if I'm going to present or give that notes to my friend, it does more harm than good. Maybe you'll have the satisfaction that you're going through notes, but it serves no purpose at all. I would recommend each and every aspirant to prepare notes, prepare a customized notes. And when I say this, it's not about just noting down everything that's already available in textbook or in the courses which they are attending. It's about customization. And when I say notes, it's not just about writing. It's it's even about using sticky notes. They can use sticky notes, paste it in, reference books. They can create flowcharts. They can create tables. They can make things interesting, mnemonics and all. And when it comes to notes preparation in specific, I would suggest them to use only keywords. Do not make it very lengthy. And also one should always keep in mind that ultimately your notes is your notes and it's no way going to help others. And it's your notes which is ultimately going to help you, especially during your revision phase just before the exam. Just imagine you have been working very hard and consistently right throughout the year. And just before 30 days or 15 days before the exam, it's not humanly possible to revise the entire content once again. So it's during those crucial times that this notes which you prepared for yourself is going to enhance your confidence and most importantly it saves time as well. So it has tremendous benefits, and no matter which stage you are in, I would suggest all the students to prepare their customized notes, and one should consider this very, very important. In fact, it's prerequisite for preparation.
now we have trained a lot of dentists for NEET coaching. You see some failures, some people successful. What do you think is the differentiating factor between who actually crack the NEET PG and who just are not able to?
Okay, so I would like to answer this question in two levels. The first level is, see, when it comes to those who succeed and those who fail, if you observe the differentiating factors, there are three qualities which I always keep on insisting. That is hard work, consistency, and self-belief. These three qualities, there is difference in these three qualities when it comes to those who crack entrance and those who couldn't crack entrance. Those who are willing to work hard, work consistently, and most importantly, those who believe in themselves. These are the ones who ultimately crack entrance without any doubt. So this is one level. And coming to the next level, having said that, it doesn't mean that those who crack the entrance success is guaranteed. At the same time, just because they failed in entrance doesn't mean that failure is guaranteed. Take me, for example. I failed in my intermediate MSET exam. I got a very huge rank. everyone branded me as a failure. But one should always realize that, as Albert Einstein or one of the greats rightly said, you cannot judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. A fish swims, monkey climbs. It's a very simple logic. And we're trying to apply the same rule, one size fits for all, which is very unfortunate because there are so many aspects to it, including the commercial aspect. Let's leave it. But my point is just because a student cracks entrance doesn't mean that success is guaranteed. They cannot take things for granted. So they should keep learning because post graduation is the right time where they can master certain things and then utilize them in their professional or clinical practice, including academics. When it comes to failure or not able to crack entrance, I would not like to use the term failure, but those who couldn't crack entrance, it doesn't mean that life ends at all. There are still many ways. There are still many means in which one can succeed. In fact, each and everyone can have their own success. I hope I answered your query. So the first
Yes.
and foremost thing is, the three aspects: the hard work, consistency, and self-belief. Those who stick on to these three factors, they'll definitely crack entrance. But having said that, again, it's an extension to your question. Like there are 400 or 500 seats overall, 700 or 800 seats. We made a calculation recently in one of the videos. Government seats. I'm talking about
Yes, I
government seats.
remember.
And every year around 25,000 to 26,000 aspirants are giving the entrance. So does it mean 25,400 are failures and the rest 600 are successful? If we are trying to assess success in those terms, then that would be our foolishness. So each and everyone will be successful in their own way. Just be patient. And if you're really determined to crack entrance, just keep these three factors in mind. And those students who are familiar with my interviews or who are familiar with my videos, they know how incessantly I keep talking about these three factors because these three factors are the ones which personally helped me during my preparation. Just because you're working hard doesn't mean that you'll succeed. Just because you're working hard and you're working consistent, you falter on the day of exam, you're not going to succeed. So ultimately, on the day of exam, how are you going to perform? It depends solely on your belief in yourself. So these three factors, I'm sure, will take them to successful way.
Now, one of these factors is self-belief. I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of PG students. It's a 12-month hardest journey of studying and continuously. There are phases where that day you're not able to complete what you planned, or that week you're not able to complete what you planned. So there is this breakdown of your confidence. It happens in patches. So when you are losing confidence at that particular point of time or self-belief, what should you do to regain it or get back onto the horse?
I'm very glad, Harish, that you asked me this question because personally, I used the technique which I mentioned previously, that is visualization. Whenever I used to feel low, I used to just close my eyes and I used to imagine as if I was the topper in the upcoming interview. I used to close my eyes and imagine seriously, even though it appears funny, but it was
No, I
very well for
believe
me
in our
because
visualization.
yeah, I'm just kidding. So it's like once you start visualizing, once you realize, just close your eyes and visualize that you cracked the entrance, your parents applauding, your friends applauding. In fact, that happened really. So as I say in a secret, uh, in one of the books called Secret, when you strongly desire for something, the universe
The universe
grants it.
attracts it to you.
Uh, Exactly. So I don't see that as a fancy thing, but it's a reality with a practical potential because there is nothing like in universe which is actually going to do it, but it's only something that's happening in here. That is, you visualize something. Your thoughts, your perceptions are molded in such a way that you'll start acting in that direction. And if you keep putting all the effort, if not you, then who else is going to achieve success? So it's a simple logic. Yeah.
So, other than this, what is the most important tip do these PG aspirants need to think about, other than
See,
belief, hard work, and consistency?
it's a very difficult question because usually we say there are so many tips, but to sum it up and to give it in form of a single word or a single sentence, I would say enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. This might appear surprising, but this is something which I learned from my father personally because, he used to quote this to me very frequently: nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm, as Ralph Waldo Emerson rightly said, because without enthusiasm, you'll not feel like doing it. You'll not feel like putting consistent effort. You'll not feeling like achieving anything. Enthusiasm comes out of excitement. See, once you're excited about what you're doing, once you're passionate about what you're doing, once you visualize where you want to be in your life, you'll have that enthusiasm automatically. It is not something which we can create artificially. It is something which comes inherently. So enthusiasm is something which will take everyone a long way. It's not just about entrance success, but it can be achieving anything in life. I personally believe, so especially when it comes to NEET preparation, I would definitely say enthusiasm, because that's the basis on which we can build up all these other features of hard work, consistency, self-belief, and so on and so forth.
Okay, now a general question, not just PG aspirants. How do you can you become successful as a professional dentist? For everyone who go through PG, who do not go through PG, who are not interested in PG examination, just being successful in
Yeah,
life.
yeah. In fact, I was trying to highlight the previous way as well, like whether you succeed in entrance or not, it's a secondary thing. Because preparation, if you take preparation as such, it's a wonderful experience, or it gives you a minuscule idea on how your future life is going to be. In fact, when I look back and see now, the challenges which I am facing later are far greater than the preparation as such. But during that phase, preparation appears to be a big burden. I do understand that. But in life, preparation is actually it's actually preparing you for greater challenges in life. That's one perception which you can take. And coming to your question, if you don't mind, I just lost your question. Can you just repeat it once again? It's fit for general dentist.
For everyone, the most important thing to be successful in life in general. Nothing, no specific.
So I would say, in general, for dentists, I would say it can be, as I was telling, it's not just about entrance. In fact, I lost it. Yeah. So my point is like, it's about excitement. Are you excited about what you're doing? Are you passionate about what you're doing? These are the things which you are aware of. But when it comes to practicality, especially when it comes to dentists, whether they do MDS, diplomas or not, it doesn't matter. Even with BDS, I've seen many of my friends personally succeeding in the clinical practice. I've heard many dentists who have done specialty in endo, in oral fat, but they do things which are totally unrelated. Just like me, I have an endo background, but I'm doing things which are completely different. I heard of Sanjesh Mayekar, who is an oral pathologist, but he's an excellent aesthetic practitioner. So my point is like, focus on honing your skill, no matter what you do. Degrees, okay, naam ke vaste or just for namesake, yes, we do need degrees in a country like ours. But ultimately, what's the decider is the skills which you possess. So if anyone, regardless of their degrees, focus on honing their skills, I'm sure they'll emerge successful.
It was really nice talking to you. I'm sure the audience would have learned a lot of things. It's just not about PG entrance exams. It's about living life as a dentist. And the things you told about passion, about how to be enthusiastic, how to work on your self-belief, visualization techniques. I think these techniques are not just for dentists. It's just to be having a good life in general. I really thank you, sir, for taking your time and coming to our channel. I would like to know about your academy, where they can search you, and about your YouTube page. We'll be surely posting it on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
But other than that, where they can find your academy, how can they contact you if they want to join your academy?
Yeah, I mean, they can just check out our website, ptbdacademy.com. We'll send you the link. Also, they can just drop a mail at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. Proud to be dentist. You know what? This is very interesting.
I loved it when I was emailing it to you. I loved it when I was emailing it to you.
I'm sorry. That's wonderful to hear. In fact, you know what? Out of this frustration, even before starting the academy, I haven't mentioned it previously, but even before starting the academy in 2016, way back in 2011, we started a group called Proud to be Dentist.
Oh.
Right? It's out of frustration. Yeah, because everyone says you are not a doctor, you just treat teeth, why 5 years, all this nonsense. So that's how the theme of Proud to be Dentist came about. And In Facebook, we had around 25,000 members way back then. And then we started moving on to YouTube channel. And then we created PTBD Academy, proud to be dentist at gmail.com. It's all about proud to be dentist, feel good about yourself, because there are so many things in society which affected and are still affecting dentists in many ways. Lack of jobs, looking down, they're not treated properly with respect. In fact, I hear these things almost on day-to-day basis. So out of all these negatives, I think we came up with the best possible positive thing from our side, which is PTBD Academy or Proud to be Dentist.
Thank you for your valuable time. Thanks a lot, sir.